Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm filming today in my bedroom because I'm off on my holidays in a couple of hours and I didn't want to set up fully downstairs because it would just take so much time and I'm not even fully packed. I didn't want to miss putting out a video this week, so I said I'd do a little sit down and chatty video about something really important in so many people's lives. At some point in your life you're probably going to be in some kind of a monogamous relationship. The things I'm going to talk about today are really common and I'm going to be vulnerable and honest and explain that I actually possessed a lot of these traits myself. I'm not proud of it and I'm not happy about looking back on it, but my relationship today is probably one of the things in my life that I'm most proud of because I came into my current relationship with a lot of issues and a lot of behaviours from past relationships that I thought were normal and they weren't at all. And in my relationship I have taken the time to work on myself, really dig deep and figure out a lot of my issues and put a lot of work and effort into making it what it is today, which is a really happy, healthy relationship that is more than I could have ever dreamed of, to be honest. And I want to make this video to explain to people that even if you do possess these traits, it doesn't mean that you're stuck with them, that you can't get better, because you can, because I did, and it really didn't take too much effort. I'm going to talk about different aspects that come to play when dealing with like a monogamous relationship or any kind of relationship really. I'd say a lot of what I'm going to talk about today could fit into friendships or family members, but I'm going to be specifically talking about monogamous relationships because that's what I'm in and that's the area that I feel confident in now. So me and my partner are together 4 years, and when we first got together I had just gotten out of a kind of a toxic relationship, very controlling on both sides, so it wasn't just my past partner, was me as well, and I thought that those behaviours were completely normal. So I want to just run through all the different aspects of a relationship where it can go right or it can go wrong. What do you find disrespectful in a relationship? If you're going to be with someone, you need to set very clear boundaries from the beginning, honestly, because if you come into a relationship, your boundaries not set, the other person can easily upset you without realising. Like, for example, some people find flirting with other people to be cheating, some people find liking another person's picture to be disrespectful, some people don't care about that kind of stuff. So if you lay out those boundaries in the beginning without coming from a place of ownership of the other person, just being completely honest and being like, look, I'm not comfortable with this makes me feel this kind of way, your relationship has a really good basis to start on, and you know from the get-go that any behaviours outside of this aren't what you're comfortable with. A lot of time and arguments can be saved by just being open and honest and explaining your boundaries from the get-go. I struggled big time with trust. I didn't understand it. When I grew up, all my friends would say like, it's so attractive to have a boyfriend who's jealous, like, and who is overprotective, and jealousy and being overprotective is a form of not having trust for someone. And I grew up thinking that that was an attractive trait, so not only did I like it when my partner was jealous, I possessed those traits myself and I had zero trust. I've never once placed trust in a partner before, so this was obviously a really hard transition when I first got with my current partner. Jealousy manifested itself in very ugly ways for me, even to the point of like verbal abuse towards other girls who'd be like dancing around my boyfriend or just like disgusting carry on that like is worlds away from what I do now. Jealousy is something that it took a long time for me to let go of, and even now if I see myself getting a little bit jealous, I have to sit down and just nip it in the bud straight away because I know how ugly it can get, and it's not something that I'm proud of, and unfortunately it was something that was really deeply ingrained in me because it took a long time to leave. But I'm happy that I can make this video looking back on it and not still be in that space. The thing with trust is you will never know what your partner's going to do. We're all very unpredictable human beings, and there is every single chance that your partner could slip up and do something that you're not happy with, and there's every possibility that you could slip up and do something that your partner's not happy with. But what's the point in living your relationship with that in mind, with like, oh, they could do this, they could do that? You're completely cancelling out the present and you're living your life as if that thing has already happened. And if you know, I do believe in the law of attraction, and the more that you believe that's going to happen, the likelihood is that it is going to happen. So the way that I've learned to deal with trust issues is to just trust. And I know that sounds very simple, but honestly it works. Be vulnerable and give someone your whole trust until they prove otherwise. With doing that, you're going to allow your relationship to grow, because your relationship can't grow if you're already treating it as if the other person has done something wrong. So as scary as it is, I've literally just learned to trust with all my heart. And like, if you're wrong, you don't lose anything. Like, people say like, oh, I've just wasted however many time. You didn't. At least in the time that you were in the unknown, you were happy and you weren't in anxiety. So I think it's more of a waste of time if you go through it not trusting the partner and living life that way. However, this isn't the same as having a gut instinct about something and just having a feeling that you just cannot put that trust in your partner. Even if you've tried time and time again, there's just something hanging over you that makes you not want to trust this person. I think our intuitions are very strong, and I think in that case if you really cannot trust your partner, it's best not to be with them, because you're already going to live your life as if that person is doing wrong to you, and like what's the point in being in that state and being in a place where someone is basically doing you wrong 24/7, even if they might not be. You're just allowing yourself to be in a stressful state for a very prolonged period of time, and that's not good for anyone. It's not good for your health, it's not good for your partner's health, and it's really not worth it in the long term. Another thing I'm guilty for. I'm really throwing it out here, like, but anyway, mind games are a big thing for me as well. I don't think I've ever had a boyfriend where I haven't threatened to leave about 7 times during the relationship, because I thought that, like, I threatened to leave and they came after me, that's a sign of love. Whereas like threatening to leave someone, breaking up with someone constantly just to get reassurance, is an awful way to try and get validation from someone. Actually, I think this came from like the first boyfriend that I ever had broke up with me, and I think like when your first ever experience with someone, and I was only a child, like, but I think like your first ever experience of being with someone and then they leave, you'll always have that fear over you. I always wanted to be the person to leave, and even if that meant just threatening to leave when I didn't even want to, just to give myself that power, it was something that I did an awful lot. Essentially, mind games are emotional abuse. You're purposely testing someone else's emotions just to make yourself feel better, and if you love someone and care about someone, you don't want them to feel that way. Another type of mind games that I used to play was given the silent treatment. I was really bad for this as well. Oh my god. This was something I carried forward to my current relationship as well, and I've learned to kind of move on from, thank god. This is really common actually. I think a lot of people want to test each other. When you're having an argument, who can be silent for longer, who's weaker, who loves who more. Again, this is so unhealthy, and it really doesn't prove anything. Like, I feel like in those moments both people are hanging on their phones and dying for the other person to pick up, but you're just waiting to see who gives in first, and it's so strange that so many people do it, and it's so strange. I used to do this for days on end, and actually it's something that I still kind of do, but now it's like 5 minutes, like if I just need a breather and I don't want a conversation with my partner at that time, if I'm angry about something or whatever. But I've learned to not leave it go on for too long. Like, I do not leave it go on longer than definitely 20 minutes anyway. It doesn't do anything, it's not solving anything. There's no getting over whatever hurdle caused you to want to give someone the silent treatment. And like, the thing is, when someone decides to give in, message the other person or talk to the other person first, you're gonna have to address the argument then anyway, so why not just do it straight away? Skip all the like mental torture you're putting yourselves through and just get straight to the point and the issue at hand. Forgiveness is something that you need to really give your all to. There's no point in saying that you forgive someone for something and then later on an argument breaks out and you throw that in the person's face. This means that you never really truly forgave the person, and forgiveness is really hard because you have to really put your ego aside a lot of the time when someone's hurt you in a certain situation. Like, for example, if you've been hurt, it's really hard not to have a wall up and not to keep that situation in the back of your mind to protect yourself from future situations. Those behaviours are so destructive to your relationship. If someone else has apologised genuinely for something and you think that their situation is worth forgiving, and you say in the moment that you've forgiven them, imagine how hurtful it is to bring it up and throw it in their face again months later, or when the next argument arises. Bringing up baggage and things that you've said you've once forgiven for not only hurts the other person who really wants to move on from it, but you're hurting yourself. You're re-traumatizing yourself with the situation. So you need to find methods that work for you, that allow you to just completely release it and let go of that situation. For me, meditation helped a lot with me forgiving myself and forgiving others. There's a lot of guided forgiveness meditations on YouTube as well that can help you work through those situations. There's no human being on this earth who is perfect. So when you're looking for a partner and you have a list of things that you want to tick off, that's fine, but you can't expect someone to tick every single box. And I think, as much as I love romance movies, they have a lot to do with people's perception that theirs is like a perfect relationship. Because if you look in your real day-to-day lives, you'll see that no one's life is like what they are in a movie. People are just people, and there's none of us can tick every single box. So what you need to do when you're selecting a partner or finding someone who might suit you is you need to have like a couple of things that are really important to you. So like for me, a kind person is like up there. Someone who doesn't talk disrespectfully to other people, someone who I find really attractive. These are things that I never really looked into when I was younger, when I just like get a boyfriend. Like, I just get a boyfriend when I'm in that lust phase without having really any clue what their moral values are or if they'd actually suit me as a person. Whereas now that I'm older, I know how important it is now to be with someone whose soul that you really love, who's a good person, who suits you, whose interests and likes suit yours. Doesn't mean you have to be the exact same person. Me and my partner are like very different people. So just not putting too much pressure on the other person to be perfect and pulling them up on their shortcomings, because if they really have traits that you're not into, then they might not be the person for you. And as well, like, people grow. Like, I'm not the same person I was when I first got with my partner, and he's not the same person he was when he first got with me. For me, I'm very passionate about like the environment and animals and stuff, whereas my partner just naturally isn't. Like, he's a very caring person, but he wouldn't have the passion for those things that I do. But he's put in the effort to become more aware of these things and make better choices just by being around me and without me putting that pressure on him. So give your partner room to grow as well. This is a big one as well. I think a lot of us have walls up because of our experiences in life and being hurt in the past and whatever, but like, no healthy relationship can survive without good communication. Just being completely open about how you're feeling at any given time and being vulnerable about your insecurities or what's going through your head and your mental state, even if it doesn't have to do with your relationship. Like, having an open dialogue with your partner is absolutely game changing. I've always been a very open person, but my partner would have been a very closed book when we first got together. But like, as we've grown and put time and work and effort into our relationship, we have both now literally seen inside each other's souls at this point. Like, we're now both so open and so vulnerable about absolutely everything, be it like past decisions that we've made that we're not happy with, insecurities about our looks, things that I never thought I'd open up to people about. Just allows so much more room for growth and comfort in your relationship, knowing that this person loves you for exactly who you are and that you don't have to be anything but who you truly are inside. So I hope you enjoyed that video, guys. It's a little bit short and rambly, but I really wanted to make sure that I was getting out a video even though I was going away on holidays. Next week I'm going to have either like a vlog or kind of a food challenge up, I'd say, while I'm away in Lanzarote. If you did watch it the whole way through, thanks so much for watching. I don't think people realise how much it means to me that they're taking the time to watch my videos. Like, I do put a lot of effort into kind of researching how to get better and how I can add value to other people's lives, because I just think self-growth is an amazing thing, and I don't think there's any cap on it. Like, I think that we're on this earth to become better and better people and learn more and grow more, and if I can help people do that while still trying to grow myself, that would honestly make me the happiest person in the world. So thanks very much for watching, everyone, and I'll see you all in my next one.